Boys Podcast. I'm your host, Fabian Biggs. I got Big Straw Anderson with me, Pretty Tony, and Horatio will join us in just a moment. And on tonight's show, we are talking about the CFP rankings. Also, we're going to talk about Deion going to Colorado. It must be the money. But you know what but you know what happens right here, Ryan.
Tell them what happened, Faye.
What happened.
It's time for the show.
It's time for the show. This is what I say. Let's go. Hit it, Yasmin.
Hey, yeah. Hey, yeah. Boys, yeah. Hold on. We them boys. Hold on. We them boys.
So, of course, this is Fort Valley Boys Podcast. Of course, you know who we're brought by. We're brought to you by Just for Men. If you need any help with getting that gray out your beard, Ryan don't want the gray out of his beard. Makes it look distinguished. CB35. Just for Men. You can buy it in any of your major stores. Also, we are brought to you by Sprite, the Black folks drink. Also brought to you by a new sponsor, Arizona Tea. No matter what year it is, 2003 or 2022, still 99 cents. Get Arizona Tea. We're also brought to you by, we're also on Sundays and Wednesdays at 9 p.m. You can follow us on Facebook at Fort Valley Boys Podcast. Follow us on YouTube, Fort Valley Boys Podcast, BuyNightShirt.com. Bernard Ingram has great products. If you go to HBC or you're part of the Divine Nine, BuyNightShirt.com will get you straight on your merchandise, BuyNightShirt.com. And of course, Henny and Coke. The Dog Liquor. Ryan, how's your week, man?
Man, everything's good, man. Everything's good. Everything right now I'm 4-0. Well, I'm 2-0. The Steelers won, the Bulldogs won. Just waiting to beat you in fantasy and waiting on this other fantasy league the other fantasy game to close down. I'll be 4-0 this week. So
hold on. Let me do my little job. What? What?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. No, hold on. Let me look at the score. I haven't checked the score because you had Jonathan Taylor playing tonight, so that's why I'm like, man, we ain't gonna win. Jonathan Taylor run by 70 yards.
We just waiting on it. He ain't got started yet, but we were only like 20 points down. I know he can give it 20.
Oh, the game it was over. I'm already losing. I don't got nobody else playing. So wow, that I already knew I was gonna lose. I already knew it, so there's no point of me.
I was actually surprised Travis Kelce didn't have a better game, and it wouldn't have been a doubt. You know, we wouldn't have to wait till the last player playing, and Travis Kelce would play.
Yeah, Butker missed a kick at the end of the game, 55-yarder. He been hit and miss this year. Shot producer said Jackson State is on the clock. We'll get to that in a minute, but tell us about it. Let's talk about this. We'll get you some little NFL info shot and Tony, come on. Talk about the Steelers Falcon game. What your take on it was. I think the Steelers might mess around, go 9-8, and keep Mike Thomas
alive. They could go 8-9, 9-8. It's just one of them years, man. You know, it's like riding an emotional roller coaster with this team. The Steelers, they dropped all those games in the front. TJ Watt was gone. He's the emotional leader on the defense. Minka Fitzpatrick gone part of the first part of the year. He's another emotional leader. So they weren't playing well. Then you, in the first couple of games, you going to Kenny Pickett, who's the rookie. You know, you got the kid in there. So his development, he's got trial by fire. He's there, but he's got to, he's got to develop. So, he's developing well, but it's just one of those things. We got to have still some more consistency. I need Deontay Johnson to catch footballs and not have as many drops. But outside of that, I think they're coming along. They're coming along. We'll be in the middle like we always are, in the middle of the draft. Also, the Falcons played really, really, really well. That's why they where they are in the division. The division is terrible. Don't get it twisted. That division is terrible. But man, they can actually mess around and sneak into the playoffs because of how bad the division is.
Yeah, and that's I haven't seen that division that bad since the NFC South.
Right.
A few years ago when Carolina won it with a 7-9 record.
Right.
And I think they won a game, I think, in that season in the playoff.
Mm.
I think that's the year also Cam Newton got in a car accident and Derek Anderson had to come in and play for him, play a game.
Yeah. Okay.
So their division has been that bad since about 5 years ago. That's recent. And the NFC East wasn't all that great last year either.
And look at everybody in the NFC East. The NFC East is, man, this will be this will be something. I mean, you got the Eagles. The Eagles are playing really, really well. They just took care of the Tigers today. You know, Tampa Bay is, I mean, not Tampa Bay, New York dropped one today. But I mean, they've been playing well. Like we were just saying, they just started to put it in reverse a little bit. The Cowboys are being the Cowboys of old, but I mean, we'll see what happens when the playoff comes. And then the Commanders, I mean, man, they were afterthought for a minute. With everything else going on, well, they were afterthought. Now they're playing, look like they want to play some ball. So
yeah, 6-1-1 are the Commanders in the last 8 games. We're gonna bring in the probably the prettiest person on the show. Pretty Tony.
Let them know what we at, Tony. Let them know what we're doing.
Pretty Tony, what Tyler?
What's going on, fella? Sorry about being late, man. I'm
Brian.
having some technical difficulties.
I'm supporting your team today, Tony. I'm supporting your
man,
team.
Don't start, Fave. I just got on the show, man. Don't do that, man. Don't do that. Don't do that, man. I just got on the show, man. I ain't been on here 1 minute, dude.
I was like, I said I'm supporting.
No, man. No. You can't support. We've had this conversation. You can't support.
So I can't pick y'all.
No.
I picked y'all last year and won.
No.
I picked y'all.
No.
The comments, my cousin, shot producer said no, Fave. I helped y'all win last year. Dang, can I get some credit?
No.
Tony, what's up, man? How's your week, man?
It was cool, man. It was cool. Work heavy, been busy, trying to close out the year, man. But I did my part and made sure I voted, did the early voting for Georgia, for the Senate runoff race, and see how things play out Tuesday, man.
And for those out there that's watching from Georgia, if you didn't vote, we might lose Arizona Tea. That's one of our new sponsors we just got. Vote or shut the fuck up.
Man, that's the truth, though. That. I mean, if you ain't gonna try to change it by your vote, don't complain. If you ain't gonna try to change, don't complain.
All right, Shot will be on in a minute, but we'll go ahead and get started. You know who the 2 sickest teams are right now? You know who the 2 sickest teams in college football right now for the college football playoff?
Alabama.
I can think of one right out. Yeah, I can think of one right out the muscle. I know Bama's sick.
No, not really, but Tennessee.
Oh, they sick.
Tennessee and Clemson. They sicker.
You
know why?
Well, I know about DJ.
Uyagalele, they got benched yesterday. But they had one loss, and both those teams lost to South Carolina end of the season. And they had a legitimate shot. If Tennessee would have just won out, they would have won out.
Oh, we all knew Tennessee won out. You know, they would have been there.
Yeah.
So I think Clemson probably more sick because they basically. I think it was the Notre Dame game when the dude came in the game and when it was getting blew out and they kind of made it a game.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people was calling for the freshman. I can't think of his name. It lost to me for a second, but a lot of people was expecting him to go ahead and make that move that next game. But I know they had a bye week, and Dabo killed all that in the PC after the game. like I said, before the quarterback controversy starts, DJ is still gonna be our guy. And he stuck with him, man. I don't know what that was about, but no, he stuck with him.
Well, just so you know, breaking news: he ain't sticking with Clemson. I heard he ended the portal.
So DJ,
Yeah,
I don't blame him. I don't blame him. I don't
Yeah.
blame him.
Yeah, those are 2-16s. Alabama, I mean, you had an argument, but you had 2 losses, though. Somebody on the show called it from the beginning, and it did what it did. They got what they deserved this year. That's just plain and simple. Alabama got what they deserved. They'll be in the
You
Sugar
said they
Bowl.
were going to the playoff too, though. So I mean, say the whole story.
I thought they would
Say
be.
the whole story. You
Thought they
you
would
try to you try to throw that in there on the back door, like somebody on the show said they were gonna have 2 losses. But you also said they were going to the playoff. Tell the whole story.
I did say that because I said they might be the first team to have 2 losses in the.
You said they were going to be, not might be the first team. You said they were going to be. Those are 2 different statements, Faye.
Well, in the end of the day, they ain't there.
You right.
They got what they deserve. Like I've been saying all year on them losses. That Tennessee loss, I think if they would have beat Tennessee, I think they had a better shot. But it doesn't matter if a fifth was a fifth.
we'd all be drunk.
Hey, Nick Saban was politicking too, wasn't he?
Hard.
I'm talking about hard, dude.
I like shut up. I'm like Nick, just be quiet, Nick. The only way you get in Michigan lose, and Michigan still getting in, even if they would have lost. Michigan was still would have got in if they would have lost. So the only way they would have got in if the team just disappeared, got snapped by Thanos. That's the only way they would have got in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's talk about these rankings. Of course, Georgia's 1, Michigan's 2, TCU stays at 3, and number 4, we have Ohio State, who slid in through the front door slid through the back door where USC's being demolished by Utah, which has beaten them 3 consecutive times. Beating USC 3 consecutive times. Caleb Williams going out in that game really changed the complexion of that game because it was up 17-3. And him getting injured, he tried to come back and gut it out, but it was too late for him to try to come back in and gut it out, and they just cost their season. But let me just give Lincoln Riley his flower by he had to fill in 20 spots on his roster when he came there because he went to when he started visiting USC when he took the job. He's like, man, I got some work to do. There's too many holes on this roster for us to even have a chance. Mm-hmm. And filling those holes, he gave him a fighting chance this year.
Yeah.
And Caleb Williams is just a sophomore. And next year they're gonna make some noise, but next year should be their last year in the Pac-12. They're going to the Big Ten. They're a private institution, so they're not bound by the Board of Regents in California like UCLA, which is a public university where they have to vote on them staying or going. So that's going to lead into a topic later on with Deion Sanders in a minute. But I guess this is a dumb question, but are those rank? Do you like the rankings 1 through 4?
I think they nailed it. I think they nailed it. The order and everything. I think they nailed it. I think a lot of people were nervous and scared that Bama was going to get in there and slide through there in the back door. I'm actually proud of the committee and not succumbing to that and not falling for that and doing the right thing. Bama deserve to go, man. You can make as many excuses about about it as you want. They lost by 1 or 2 points both of those games. Bryce Young was hurt. Man, hey man, W's are wins, L's and losses. That's all that matters, man. They had 2 losses. They didn't deserve to go. I think they got it right. I think they got it right. Obviously, Michigan, Ohio State. Michigan and Georgia deserve to be in there. As much as the hoopla was surrounding whether TCU deserved to go. They deserved to go. They really had a tight, tough schedule. I think they had they went on the streak of having like 4 straight top 20 wins throughout the season. They went to their championship game, lost in overtime. And regardless of how we feel about Ohio State, they deserve to be in the top 4 as well. They are one of the top 4 teams in the country.
Yeah, 7 of their starters are top 20 prospects for the NFL. So the talent is there to make some noise. Ryan, what about you? Did the committee get it right?
Oh yeah, they I'm with Tony on this one. They nailed that. They nailed that down with a good sledgehammer. This just shows that when you lose, it's not it's also how you lose. And TCU fought to the very last breath, and you can tell the competitiveness. Now they played a good Kansas State team, and Kansas State's been good all year. So they've been good. They play that any given Saturday type of football where if you think you got them, think again. So TCU kind of succumbed to that, but they fought to the end. So I see why they left them at 3. And Ohio State is the only other team that I can see getting in, and Bama shouldn't even been in the conversation. But for whatever reason, I would say that Bama, for whatever reason, is a media darling. And I know they are who everybody likes. They've won all these championships, and everybody loves Nick Saban. But there was no way that Alabama should have even been considered to be in the top 4. And I know he's politicking, and that's what coaches are supposed to do. They're supposed to politic for their teams. It's financial ramifications involved. You want your team, you going for your kids. You're doing it for your kids. But there was no way Alabama was supposed to even be considered. There were too many teams. You're going to put a 2-loss team in front of that 1-loss team? No. But the committee, thumbs up to you. Big straw salute.
Big straw salute. Yeah, the committee got it right. End of the day, you don't have an argument for me. Now, if TCU would have got blowed out, that'd have been a little bit different.
Yeah,
but they had 5 wins against top 25 ranked teams, 5-1. They deserve to win it.
But I still think in that case you still put them in at 4. I still think you could have put them in at 4 and maybe put Ohio State 3 maybe, because they're still a 1-loss team, and in that scenario, it's when you lost.
Let's get Big Shot in. Big Shot, what's the deal?
Fellas, what's going on?
What's up?
Shot, late job.
Did the committee get it right, Shot?
Get your ass here on time, man.
I apologize. Hey, you ain't want me on time because Fade done tallied up them standards. You ain't want me here on time.
Oh, I'm good. Hey, it's fine. I'm good. You got the NFL. I got the college. You know what I'm saying? Cool. It's all good.
You deal with Saturday, I deal with Sunday.
Matter of fact, I must say, if any of my sports zone, this sports group that I've been in, man, since I've been on Facebook, man, probably about 8-9 years, man. We had a tournament this year, College Pick'ems on ESPN. If any of y'all watching, holla at the champ. Holla at the champ.
Yeah, that just go to show you that's a watered down league.
Nah, ain't no watered down league. Ain't no watered down league, boy.
I don't want to get off the subject, but I know y'all boys over there in that Fort Valley Podcast Fantasy League celebrating that I might be taking my first L. I see
you damn right. You damn right.
I see the hate. Y'all see you boy with like 12-0. Miami Dolphins over there about to pop champagne right now.
For those that watching, we have Fantasy League. You should have joined it. Horatio is the 2022 version of the Patriots.
Yeah, I'm 12-0. I still got a shot, but anyway, I think they got it right for a couple of reasons. One, they showing that the college football is not just dominated by the SEC and the Big Ten. So I think that played a part in it, although they won't say that that's true. And then I think, for TCU to lose in the conference championship game, at the last second, I think they still deserve a shot in there. If you're talking about the top 4 teams, they one of the ones with one loss. They lost to Kansas State, but a conference championship game is I don't want to say a toss-up, but we've seen a lot of big power teams lose in the conference championship game. So I think they got it right. And I think they won't say it, but they didn't want to see Ohio State, Michigan again 2 weeks later. And that's why they went on ahead and made Michigan, Ohio State 4 and Georgia 1. They won't say that. They won't tell the truth on that either.
So let's do a quick little preview of those games. Georgia's going to play Ohio State. Ohio State going to use the time now to get healthy. Georgia just beat the brakes off of LSU 50-30. I'm still trying to figure out how the hell LSU scored 30 points. I guess that was trash, garbage time against the points they gave up. But I don't see anybody beating Georgia. I don't. Am I crazy, Tony?
No comment. No comment.
He going in, so he doing it again, ain't Tony?
He doing it again, man. He doing it again. No comment.
Ryan, am I crazy?
Anything can happen in the world of college football. Let's talk X's and O's for a minute. Let's talk X's and O's. Georgia statistically is the best defense in the nation, so I don't see them having trouble with any of these 3 teams in the playoff. Got to play Ohio State first. I will say that now they have a veteran, with the exception of Malachi Starks. They have a veteran secondary. So I really think that they're going to try to throw the ball. But as long as you got Jalen Carter up front trying to wreak havoc, and I don't think this Ohio State line has seen anything like Jalen Carter, I think you got a shot. And I don't think you would have wrote. Me and Tony in the beginning of the season, I think we both said Georgia would have 1 loss. I think we both said that. But they played well. They played really well as a team, and they're that much better offensively this year with pretty much the same cast of characters. Running backs are running good. McConkey's catching. Bowers is catching. Washington doing his thing, and I don't see anybody stopping them. If everything is clicking and firing on all the cylinders, and we get this good oil change, I don't see anything.
Shaw has brief technical difficulty. We'll get him back in. We'll come back to him on that question. Then we got Michigan versus TCU. Duggins versus McCarthy, I believe, is the quarterback for Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy how they still could have a very good running game without Collins, who's pretty much out for the rest of the year with a knee injury. Does TCU have a legitimate chance, Tony?
I really want to say yes. I don't know if that's just I hate Michigan. Everybody knows that I hate Michigan football. I like the basketball team, like Juwan Howard, and and those boys are what they do. But when it comes to football, I hate Michigan. But with that being said, though, I really do think TCU got a chance, man. They scrappy, man. They real scrappy. No, they play to the gun. And they're really, really, really scrappy, well coached team. So Michigan, they should win. They'd be favored to win. But no, I do think TCU I think they have a chance. Maybe a small chance, but I think they got a chance.
Anybody that's that participates in the art of wagering, take the under in that game. Take the under. Take the under in that game. Am I
what's
crazy?
the over under?
I don't know yet, but I'm saying take the under because Michigan's defense is pretty good. TCU has a solid defense, but let me pull up on Sportsbook right quick. But shot.
I don't know about that because the Michigan. I mean, there was what was the over under in the Ohio State Michigan game? The Michigan busted them. Ooh, they busted Ohio State up pretty good on the ground. So put up a good little spot on. I don't know.
They're 9.5 point favorite, Tony. They're 9.
But what's the over under though?
I'm trying to get to that now. Hold on. 58.5.
Yeah, I'll take the over on that all day. Matter of fact, I need to place that right now. That's for real.
Yeah, that's
for real.
Yeah.
I'll take the over. I'll take the over in that all day.
Yeah, 380 minus 385 is the money line for Michigan. Shot. They TCU have a legitimate chance against Michigan.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, no. And the reason why I say no, because just off the top of my head, looking at their personnel, I don't think they have the bodies to do what Michigan likes to do, and that's run the football. So no. I think Michigan has a pretty good defense, but TCU ain't gonna go nowhere now. I think this game is gonna be. I would take TCU with the points, to be honest with you. I don't think they're going nowhere. I think people are underestimating those guys. People never really looked at them. But I think if you look at TCU, they come to play. They're not gonna bow down, and they have great coaches and they got guys that play in the system really well. So unless it's a turnover game, unless they turn the ball over, I expect TCU to be right there in that Michigan game. In that Georgia game, I don't see nobody beating Georgia, but this is a talent versus talent game.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious to see what the spread on that is.
Give me a second to pull that up.
Shout out to D-Ran. He watching today, couldn't make it. I see my man Kelvin on here. Shout out to him as well. What's going on, fellas? D-Ran just here for the Michigan comments. Once we get past this, he gonna go away. He just want to know what we got to say about Michigan.
He gonna log out right out there.
Yeah.
It's a bad website. But I think I want to circle back real quick. How sick are you feeling if you Dabo Swinney, know if you would have beat South Carolina, you probably would have been in the CFP shot. I think you're the only one that didn't get a chance to answer that one.
Who you talking to?
You. I was asking you because you didn't get a chance to answer that one. But that was one of the first questions we asked. How sick are you if you're Clemson about that South Carolina loss? Because you didn't get a chance to answer that one. That was one of the first questions we asked.
Oh, no more sicker than Nick Saban if he'd have beat Tennessee. I mean that game came down to the wire. LSU game came down to the wire. And the fans and the selection committee would have voted for him. I don't think that, but I mean, obviously you want to be there, but you got to remember. What's up, Reggie Foster? Good to see you on here, my brother. But back to the matter at hand. Listen, y'all know your boy just went to the portal, right, Fade?
Yeah, I just told him that.
DJ Ukulele?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ukulele.
Yeah, him, that guy. I don't think Dabo wanted to play another game with that guy. So, Dabo knew he wasn't going to win no national championship this year. In my opinion, he didn't want to play another game with that guy. I mean, you hit the portal immediately. So, and you a 5-star player. Excuse me. Your brother is a 5-star defensive end that doesn't even have Clemson in his top 5. So what that tell you? Clemson not even recruiting him. From my understanding, it's some issues with, they not getting along with the dad. So, I don't think Dabo that mad.
Yeah, the Tony 60.5 is the over under. I'm taking the over on that one.
Oh, what the Georgia game?
State, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be something like 42-20. Let me get my Keyshawn voice. Yeah. Your Stetson Bennett just need to be 17 and 23, 220 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, run the offense, manage it well. You know, that's all I need from him. That's my Keyshawn voice right there. So that's what Keyshawn said. The money line is plus 200 for Ohio State, and 6.5 is the point spread. 6.5 is the point spread.
6.5 is the point spread.
6.5 is the point spread.
That tell you right there. That's going to be Vegas think that's going to be a good game. One turnover the wrong way, and anybody can get that.
Yeah, Bet said he taking the front 7 over skill positions any day.
Yeah, I feel you, Vet, but Ohio State got some 5-star guys on their offense and defensive line as well. We just not in the Southeast.
That's right.
We got a couple weeks to New Year's Eve, the 31st. Of course, the Georgia be and basically a home game with the Peach Bowl, and the Fiesta Bowl will be Michigan and TCU.
Georgia be ready, man.
Yeah,
the one thing I can say, in Georgia's favor is they got time to prepare, and you give Kirby time to put a plan together and prepare like he getting ready to do. And Kirby is fired up about the way we looked on defense yesterday. I expect big things on the 31st. That's
huge things.
All right, let's make this transition from pretty much the Eastern and Mid-East to the close to the West Coast with Colorado and Deion Sanders. News broke yesterday, and it became official today that Deion Sanders is now the coach of Colorado. Colorado has had a rich tradition of football, except of late in the last 20 years. He was at Jackson State for 3 years, won 2 SWAC championships. I believe he is 26-5 in his 3 years at Jackson State. I'll start with you, Horatio. Is this a good move for Deion?
Absolutely. This is a good move for Deion, and I'm not going to say too much, because that's going to be part of my parting shot, but this is absolutely a great move for Deion. I could think of 1, 2, 5 million reasons why this is a good move for Deion. He'll get a chance to, play PWI Power 5 football, but he'll also go from what I'm not mistaken, $400,000 to $5 million with incentives that can go up to $7 million. He has a bigger budget. He'll get to compete with the big boys. So, shout out to Deion Sanders for securing the bag.
All right, Pretty Tony, what you got for
me? I'm torn, man. I get it. I don't hate on anybody. Bettering themselves, and I mean, definitely a big ass pay increase from about $300,000-$400,000 a year to $5 million a year. But I just don't get Colorado. I don't understand Colorado. I'm kind of torn, as far as the things that he came out and said, and to give him credit for accomplished when it came to bringing a different type of light to HBCUs. So I'm definitely not taking away from that accomplishment, but that's really what you really care about, like you said you did. To leave after 2 years for Colorado. I could see if it was Florida State. I could see if it was quote unquote, as coaches love to say, dream job when he leaves somewhere. But the Colorado man, I'm disappointed. Happy for him, but disappointed at the same time.
Big Straw.
Okay, so I'm extremely happy for him, and this is the reason I'm happy for him, because he's moving up. Okay, so to your point, Tony, let's put it in lay terms here. You're a manager at a Fortune 1000 company, right? Then all of a sudden, you get a offer to go to the 500 of a Fortune 500 company. Are you going to turn it down? No, you're not going to turn it down because it's an increase for you. It's an increase in notoriety. That's what Deion has done. Deion is going there. These cats went 1-10. If you've seen any other video where he went last night and introduced himself to the players, he's committed to these kids. He wants to turn this around. He likes projects like that. He's there for those young men. He's already told them what he expects, just like he did at Jackson State. And it's going to be one of those things. I believe they're actually going to give him time to try to bring that program back. They haven't had anybody notable in that program since Rashawn Salam, if he's being technical. So he's going to do what he needs to do to turn around. I'm happy for him. Even if it is just Colorado, the man went from FCS to FBS and a major in a Power 5 conference. So you can't do nothing but say, give him the salute and wish him good luck.
I give him the salute, but I could be disappointed at the same time.
I mean,
there's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, like I started out, and I stand by that. You know what I'm saying? I'm all about betterment, man. You know what I'm saying? So I have no issue with Deion bettering himself and going to get the money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you know, at the same time, you know, based off of plenty of statements and slogans, you know what I'm saying, and press conferences and catchy phrases that I've heard him say, you know what I'm saying, over the past couple of years while he's been at Jackson State, dude. I'm disappointed, you know what I'm saying, at the same time. Deion ain't hurt for no money, bro.
No,
you know what I'm saying, at all. You know what I'm saying? Now, is it a step up? Absolutely, it's a step up. But like I said, it's Colorado, man. He ain't gonna do nothing in Colorado. Yeah, they'd be competitive. They might not be the floor mat, but shit, he is gonna get them better, and he's gonna make them popular and somewhat relevant. But I mean, it's still Colorado, man. I don't think nobody, at least I don't. Let me speak for myself. I don't expect them to compete for any kind of Pac-12 championship. I don't. Any of y'all do?
Not soon.
I think within 2 years they'll have at least 7 to 8 wins.
I ain't competing for a Pac-12 championship.
But it's better than one win.
It's better than one win, but that's not competing for a Pac-12 championship. So it's nothing but a stepping stone, which we get. It's a stepping stone for another job. If he succeeds and it goes the way that we think it's gonna go, and he improves Colorado to the 7-8 win level, it's nothing but a stepping stone. But like I said, I get it, man. I'm not hating, man. I like Deion, man. I rock with Deion.
Yeah,
but at the same time, I am disappointed.
Shout out to Philip Walker, Reggie Foster, Jimmy Jackson. Y'all guys that's on here checking out the podcast. This is a good discussion right here. We talking about prime time. Should I stay? Should I go? Who is swag? So, shout out to everybody that's on here checking this out. This is gonna be interesting right here.
Yeah, Dewan Rollins, D. Randall cousin. I ain't seen him in a minute. White boy, what's up?
What's going on, man?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I know there's gonna be a shots party and shot, but let me just say this. Deion started a trend for HBCUs for former NFL players to be head coaches. My cousin said it, he's on the clock. Kelvin Byron said on Facebook, Jackson State, you're on the clock to keep that going. Keep the energy. If you're mad about him leaving, just bring in another person with the opportunity. Somebody like Tyrone Poole, possibly, who should have got the Fort Valley job, but that's neither here nor there. Somebody on that level that can possibly have an opportunity to show his coaching prowess. He's built the program. 26-5 the last 3 years. That's pretty good. 26-5. And Anatole shot producer. Jackson State's the only SWAC team to beat FAMU in the last 2 years consecutively. So that's just saying.
We going to the Celebration Bowl next year, baby. I'll be in Atlanta. Yes, sir.
He's taking his son too. And they taking his son. I think Shador going.
Man, he can take all on. We going, fam. You going to the Celebration Bowl next year in the A. I'll be there.
Yeah.
And I told her Deion may not even be there when that commitment get there. I looked at that too. That was 2025. I couldn't even believe that was I couldn't even believe that was new.
Ain't nobody paying that kid no attention. Hey, my producer, just hit me up when that time get close. You know I got them things for you.
Yeah, Kevin, two SWAC championships. He says he's taking 11 players with him to Colorado. Boy, I hope that grades. That's a whole.
I believe it. I'm sure. I'm sure. The DB. I can't. Travis Hunter. Ain't that his name?
Yeah, Travis Hunter.
Yeah,
Travis Hunter
I'm sure he's going.
He's only mentioned 2 players that's going with him, and both of them his sons. You know, you done had some haters that then came on to some of the Colorado websites saying how is he able to talk about bringing the quarterback when he's still technically playing for JSU? Hello, that's his son. Ain't no NCAA violation when I'm talking about bringing my son with me. He talking about the safety, Shiloh. He coming with him. He ain't talked about nobody else. He talked about his 2 boys. They coming with him.
Wait, okay. So if he bringing Shiloh, does Shiloh have to sit out a year because he went down, and now he's going back up? Does he have to sit out a year?
Man, they don't do that. They don't do that.
The portal is NC2A free agency right now.
Okay.
And that's where he's gonna make his biggest impact with the portal, with people in the portal. So he's gonna take time to build a program, but he can make an instant impact right now through the portal, which is, I know Michael Atwater said for the last year and a half, 2 years, he doesn't like the portal, but Michael don't like anything but Arby's and McDonald's. But
I don't like the portal either. So I'm actually with Atwater on
I
that.
love the portal. By the way, Deion already had a conversation with the Colorado Buffaloes football team, and he basically told them boys that he coming with luggage, and it was all Louis Vuitton. So he told them, boy, go ahead and hit the portal, make more room for the players that I'm bringing in. Yep. He done told them that. About 2 hours ago, the quarterback from Colorado last year hit the portal.
Yep. Hit that thing quick.
He said he got some, and I quote, I'm bringing about 10 of them with me, and they dogs. And I quote, end quote.
Shot producers on it today, Sunday.
Oh, you got Nick Williams coaching him? Okay, woo. Yeah, but Nick Williams ain't got the money. He ain't got the checkbook he had from last year now. all he got is that medicinal stuff. That's it. That's all he got. He ain't got that. He ain't got that. That's a different checkbook, Anatoly. Nick Williams gonna have to actually talk this time. He ain't gonna be able to say, "Hey, this section over here is the people that write the checks." I heard about Nick Williams' recruiting pitch.
Yeah, he was working. Let me put the question on here. Bet said a few minutes ago. I wanted to save this to after we got everybody's thoughts on his move, which goes back to the main question at hand. It goes back to Eric Bieniemy. He's a Colorado alum. I'm not saying he should lower himself to college, but he's a big. Why didn't they offer it to Eric Bieniemy? He was their running back. He has NFL offensive experience. Why didn't they go with Bieniemy?
That's a good question.
That part.
That's a great question.
We
don't really know the conversations that were had. Because it definitely ain't been out. But that's an awesome question, man. That's a good angle.
See, that's why I can't talk to Vet during the daytime. That right there, Vet. That's why I can't talk to you in the daytime.
That's a valid question because I mean, for 3 years, Eric Bieniemy has, I want to say he's been on maybe 7 to 10 interviews for NFL jobs. And of them, they say it doesn't interview well, which I don't think that's accurate. It's just they say he won't call in plays, but he actually has been calling plays for the last 3 years. If that's the case, Matt Nagy should have never been hired for the Bears.
Man, we don't need no NFL experience. They got a guy that was watching football on Saturday, coaching the Indianapolis Colts. But I ain't naming no names. That part.
Jeff, you talk about Jeff.
Jeff, day after Friday.
Yeah,
I'm
day
just
after
saying.
Friday.
Hey man, y'all gonna get off Jeff Saturday, man. I told y'all that before, man.
I
Y'all
ain't
get
saying
off
nothing
Jeff
about
Saturday,
Jeff
man.
Saturday. I don't know who you talking about.
Y'all gonna
I
get off
said
Jeff Saturday.
they got
man.
a guy that watched football on Saturday. That's a head coach of an NFL football team. That's just like Madden. What you want to be, the fan, the mogul, the former player? Just pick one and go coach. That's what that is.
I guess
No,
I better take this time to announce.
That's a little different, man.
I guess I better take this. I want to take this time to announce that I'll be stepping in as the Las Vegas Raiders head coach due to my Pee Wee League experience coaching under Michael Atwood.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, that ain't gonna get you in the door there.
Yeah, I had an interview with the Indianapolis Colts for my undefeated season on Madden. So I had an interview with Jim Irsay on Tuesday.
Man, right now my fantasy team 12-0. I know I could get an interview. I know how to draft and accumulate talent.
and I know how to play and set a roster. You know how to set your roster.
Okay, so come on now, that part.
Yeah,
let's rock with it, Fave.
Yeah, last comment before we get to the parting shots. Anatole said college football isn't it for everybody. It's no breaks. So and then Bet is Tua good enough to take his talented Dolphins deep in the playoffs? Got an NFL question. Can he do it? Did they win today?
No.
And then there's your answer.
The Miami Dolphins has only beaten 2 teams, if I'm not mistaken, with a winning record this year. This year, they just ran up on a team with a winning record, and that didn't go well for them. Although they did go all the way to the left coast. You know, as y'all, you know, I go to Dolphin games. I'm gonna be curious to see how Tua does. You know, against really, you know, good teams, elite teams, playoff teams. Clearly they're good enough with Tyreek Waddle and Tua to beat teams that are, you know, average. The above average teams, I don't know. If you look at his winning record, they beat Buffalo and the Bills. And I believe everybody else, it's been a while since I looked at Baltimore. I'm sorry, Baltimore and Buffalo. Everybody else don't have a winning record, if I'm not mistaken.
Man, it was a fast-paced show. Straw, give us your parting shot.
Man, I don't want to steal your thunder shot. And I know I'm not even gonna go deep into this, but look, HBCUs, let's follow the blueprint, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, a lot of us in the HBCU realm are disappointed that Coach Deion Sanders didn't stay longer. Let's look at the good things that he did while he was at Jackson State, bringing a little more notoriety to that college, a little more notoriety, a little more spotlight to HBCUs, a little more spotlight to the SWAC. And let's see if the blueprint can work with other people with that same type of motivation. Let's not poo-poo the move, because this is a black man that is going up. You know, we talk about it must be the money and securing the bag, but if you really think about it, he has that. So let's think about his professionalism and him being a professional versus trying to just leave the team that you root for. Okay. Outside of that, hey, that's all I've got. That's my part shot.
All right, Freddie Tony, what you got for him?
Mine is real quick, man. I just want to take a second to give a shout out to Fred McGriff. He got voted into the Hall of Fame today by the Contemporary Era Committee. Again, you know, just on a side note, Clemens and Bonds did not make it. But you know, it's all about Fred McGriff as far as, you know, what the shout out that I do want to give him. He's a member of the '95 Braves. That's my guy. That's my guy. Yeah, man. McGruff. That's my guy. So
Crime dog.
definitely proud of him, man, and happy for him. Definitely a big day. Real good dude. Um, and just really happy to see him make the Hall of Fame, man. That's all I got. Short and sweet.
Before we get shot in there, 493 home runs, 10 seasons of over 30 home runs, but yet he wasn't voted in on the regular committee. So what are you doing? I mean, just saying. I don't know nothing about baseball. I don't know anything. Just almost 500 home runs, world champion, led your team 10 times in home runs. Just
MVP candidate.
95, 96, 93. You know, something like that. Yeah. That's all. That's all. Yeah. Let's get that Black Thought brought to you by the Dot Looker.
Woo! I'm gonna need Reverend Tick to get on here, man. Somebody tag Reverend Tick, man. It's about to be a sermon. You know, we about to go back to prime time neon Deion Sanders. So obviously, everybody got their own opinions, and I can respect that. With Deion leaving for a considerable raise, but I'm trying to figure out why is the onus on Deion to carry the swag. You know, everything that he did and he said at the moment. This is no different than Nick Saban standing up in front of the Dolphins saying, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not going to be the Alabama coach. As the Alabama trucks is rolling in his driveway, packing his stuff up to go coach at Alabama. So I don't understand that. What did Deion do? Deion decided that he wanted to get more money. I don't know nobody with money that don't want to get more money.
Well,
most people that is content with the money they have. So why is this onus on Deion? How many of us got us a decent paying job and left our old neighborhoods, especially ones that stay in the inner city? How many of us are guilty of that? Guilty. How many of us have done that? But we want to put the onus on other people, somebody else, to go do the job that everybody should be doing. That's not on Deion. So I'm glad. So again, that's what I wanted to say with Vet, because we talked about this earlier. The onus ain't on Deion. First of all, let me just also say this. I thank Deion because my son played at HBCU, and if it wasn't for Deion Sanders, my last name would not be on the back of that jersey, because we was content with letting our kids play without having their name on the back of the jersey. We was content with being inferior to the PWIs, which brings me to my next point, which y'all brought up on here. This ain't on Deion. Why Eric Bieniemy not coaching at an HBCU? You ain't tired of the NFL telling you no? They done told you no 7-8 times. You content with that? You content with being a peasant in the big house as opposed to being a king in out there in the field? Howard would love to have you. Fort Valley State would love to have you running Eric Bieniemy back. Same thing with you, Byron Leftwich. How long you gonna keep letting them tell you Tom Brady whisperer, like Tom Brady need a whisperer?
come on.
Mississippi Valley State would love to have you. What about you, Brian Flores? Aren't you mad at the system? Aren't you mad at the establishment? You know what I'm saying? Bethune-Cookman College would love to have you.
Come on, Shot.
David Gerard, you was a big-time coach. They would love to have you. D'Amico Ryans, you the next big thing up there. Come on down. Albany State would love to have you. Well, not Albany State. Let's find somebody else. Not Albany State. You know, I'm joking on that. They would love to have you. This ain't on Deion. So I did a little thing. I went and checked and said and looked at the greatest coach in college football history is Nick Saban. Do we all agree on that?
All right.
Okay, so they got an all Nick Saban team, and all of the best players that Nick Saban coached by position. They got 2 on there: Najee Harris, Derrick Henry, Amari Cooper, Jerry Jeudy, Minka Fitzpatrick. They got all of the guys on there. Alex Leatherwood. It was 2 white guys on there. The center, I can't remember his name, and the other one was Ryan Kelly. Big time players. But Nick Saban is considered the greatest coach of all time, and 95% of the players that he's coached are African American. So why all these people not coming and lifting up our community and our thing and letting the TV stations come over there to us and bringing in that revenue? Why they not doing that? Why is the onus on Deion? They should have came over and made this thing of ours, and then we bring our own players, and then let's see what ESPN do. So I just got a few shout outs to a couple of people. I don't know their situation, so I'm just saying this is just my opinion. But I know they got John Thompson III over there at Georgetown doing his thing for basketball. Go on across the street, bro. Howard would love to have you. They got Leonard Hamilton over there at Florida State doing his thing. Go on across the street, bro. Fam, you would love to have you. The great Don Staley over there at South Carolina with 2 NC2A national championships. Go on across the street, little mama. South Carolina State would love to have you. Hey, all my successful African-American alumni, come on home. We love to have you. That's my black thought.
You can cash out Horatio at $ It's major.
It's major, son.
Major.
It's major, son.
And
son.
I don't have.
Why you mad, son?
I don't have
you mad?
organ right now. That number is straight facts right now. Straight facts. But my party shot is going to be a little solemn. As you know, last year I lost my mom on Thanksgiving, and we are running into where in fact we passed a year of burying her, and of course passed a year of her on Thanksgiving when she died, and 25th was the date she died, the day after Thanksgiving. But anybody that's out there that has lost somebody, go to therapy. It works. If you don't get it, it's going to eat you up. It's going to make you bitter. It's going to make you angry. It's going to make you hardened. It's going to make you something that you've never been. I still deal with it daily. Anybody that's lost anybody, you're going to deal with it. But losing a parent on a holiday or losing your last living biological parent, just get therapy. Don't be hard, because African American we don't want to go to therapy. It's just you're fearful of opening up and being vulnerable to letting how you feel to somebody else that's not in your trusted circle. It's a tough deal. It's hard. You don't want to open up and look at yourself from the inside out to make yourself a better person. And like I went through it the first part of this year, and made me think and look at different things. Made me look at my job differently, my interaction with my family, interaction with my friends and coworkers, interaction with other people. And without doing therapy after in a part of grieving, that's part of the grieving process. Of course, you got your different stages, and right now I'm going through the acceptance phase of it, and it's tough because I'm still accepting it, even though it's got the milestone dates that pass by, and it's hard. But if you lost anybody, or you dealing with anything, if it's depression, anxiety disorder, or whatever, go to therapy, because just go. Your jobs offer EAP services. It's free. You probably won't get 8 sessions. Take advantage of the 8 free sessions. And if you feel like you still need it, just pay for the monthly. Pay for the sessions for each month. It's gonna make you a better person, change your health. Literally. That's our show for today. We want to thank everybody that's watching. We had a lot of viewers. We maxed out at 14 viewers. Of course, you can follow us on Facebook at Fort Valley Boys. You can follow us on YouTube. Fort Valley Boys. Dark Looker is a sponsor. And we also didn't know about this. Arizona Tea is one of our new sponsors now. 2000 to 2022 is still 99 cents. So they still getting them checks. We out. We'll holler at you.
Peace.